you expand on some of your skepticism around the size of the trade? There are suggestions that somebody's got to be backing him. It can't be Gill alone. I know you've thought that yourself, correct?
I'm open to being wrong, but this does not pass the smell test. If he made, let's say, 40, 50 million on the original GameStop, which people thought, and then you pay half to the government, you pay 40% to the government, and then you would have to pay, and he just put a position on that's 200 million, where did he make the rest? If in fact he made himself 300 to 400 million over the past 3 years being long Nvidia, I think he would have told someone, or I think he would have just kept his mouth shut. To me, it just seems awkward. I don't know where he would get the $200 million or $160 million. We had to have made $300 million. That it does something about it, something that just doesn't smell right. I could be wrong. This is what I believe, but the regulators will find out. E-Trade will see any deposits into the account, and we'll know, I'm sure, in the next 3 weeks.
Let's not forget the SEC did look into Roaring Kitty, and it literally took them one day to be like, yeah, nothing fishy going on here. Howdy, y'all. Hope you're having a good day. Silver Trade here again with another video, and we have a lot of exciting stuff to talk about. But first, time to go 3 companies who should ditch their CEOs immediately. This came out from Investor Place and GameStop, Ryan Cohen. If Ryan Cohen was a bad CEO, you would think that he would at least be taking a salary because, he's just trying to milk the company dry. But no, Ryan Cohen does not take a salary from GameStop. The Joker that wrote this scribbled together takes more of a salary from his company than Ryan Cohen does. So, no, but everyone's got their own opinion, and remember, this is not financial advice. And the SEC awards more than $37 million to a whistleblower who we have zero idea who they ratted on to get this much compensation. That's kind of stupid, and there's 750 people that like this, because whenever you actually look at it, it's like, yeah, it doesn't tell us any information about who he ratted on, but whenever you dig more into it, they don't ever give out information on the people that these whistleblowers ratted on until way down the road. Like, we're not going to know anything for a long time, and that's pretty typical. This is nothing unusual. The SEC awards more than $37 million to a whistleblower. They normally give about 10 to 30% of however much funds that they're getting back for investors, the SEC. They normally give the whistleblower about 10 to 30%. But this is a lot higher than we normally see the SEC giving out. And so this came out today about the whistleblower getting $37 million. And it also came out today that the SEC is suing Citron Research for those short sales. What if that's Roaring Kitty? Obviously, that's super tinfoil hatty. Make sure and duct tape it down. But it could be Roaring Kitty. Maybe he's been compiling evidence, and that's why he hasn't been talking online as much, because he's doing a lot of legal stuff right now. He doesn't want to be posting memes and this and that while he's talking to the SEC. But who knows? That's really, really reaching for far branches. But maybe that's why he's not posting. Left is charged with 1 count of engaging in securities fraud scheme, 17 accounts of securities fraud, and 1 count of making false statements to federal investigators. If convicted, he faces a maximum penalty of 25 years in prison on securities fraud scheme count, 20 years in prison on each security fraud count, and 5 years in prison on the false statement count. And Left is the editor of the online investment newsletter Citron Research. And even though Citron came out and said that they were done with GameStop, they might have lied about that, which is actually crazy to think about, because I didn't think that they were legally allowed to lie on their social medias. On Monday, the Citron Research founder doubled down on his bearish bet against GameStop after Gill posted a screenshot on Reddit that implied he owns over 100 million of the retailer stock. When I saw it, I shorted it, is what Left said. Very interesting. And that's the man, Left, the owner and founder of Citron Research. And even though he had 100% loss, he's not worried about that. He's going right back in and doubling down. And this came out in 2024. Even though Citron said that they were done shorting GameStop, and we talked about that. Very interesting. And then I'm not entirely sure if this is real, but it was just so funny I had to put it in. Tomorrow a.m. at 11:30, Citron will live stream the 5 reasons why GameStop GME buyers at these levels are the suckers at this poker game. stock back to $20 fast. We understand short interest better than you and we'll explain it. Thank you to the viewers for positive feedback on last live stream. And then boom, this comes out today, 3 years later. Good thing we didn't learn from them. And for anybody who doesn't know, there's a pattern with GameStop if you really look into the charts with 741. And this guy's been running 7.41 kilometers every day for 741 days. I mean, that's very impressive. And anyone that wants to read that can go ahead and just pause so they can read it. But had to talk about him. What a legend. And Kamala Harris would be absolutely, no doubt about it, be good for the stock market and American business, Jim Cramer has said. But I really appreciate y'all. God bless you. Have a great weekend. Thank you so much.